I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, barely breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I was 6 feet under.
Oh boy,
It's that Thursday.
it's that Thursday.
You know how that goes. That Thursday. No, that's Monday.
Oh.
That's
Oh.
Monday.
Oh,
It's Monday.
sorry.
It's a little off.
No, it feels like a Monday. I'm jealous because I found out my cousin is in Daytona.
What's in Daytona? You say
Yeah, it's
Why
it's
are
a
they-
yearly thing.
For a yearly
Her
thing?
and the Hubs go down there and
for a specific event or
for Daytona.
for Daytona?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bike Week and all that jazz.
Uh-huh,
yeah,
yeah.
they're down there and I'm
Bike
jealous.
Week right now. Well, it's okay. We have what Sturgis next year we can go to.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah, we can go there.
Yeah,
So that's good.
yeah.
We have a
We
place.
could go this year, but
We have a place. I'm saying this year we can go.
I can't.
Why
I'm
not?
not gonna have time off to be able to go.
Oh, we can make it work.
I already kind of told her, don't worry about it. We'll do it next year because I got too much money
Oh,
riding in other
that's right. You
places.
gotta go everywhere.
So,
But still, we have a place whenever we do want to go.
yeah. So that's eventually going to happen, and
That's
I'm going to
really
rub
nice.
it in her face too. I'm like,
We're
neener, neener, neener.
gonna go.
You don't get to know.
But you know, there's a bunch of stuff going on, and
That's why she
actually,
loves me.
you know that Ron Johnson guy? What? Why you
I
like?
quit watching porn a long time ago.
It's
What?
not that guy.
Oh,
No, he's a senator.
Ron Johnson.
He's from Wisconsin. He's Ron Johnson, the senator.
Okay. No,
You know, family of Johnson and Johnsons.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
Take your word for it.
he's a handful.
Yeah. I've been told it resembles somewhat of a baby's leg.
Anyway,
Anyway,
instead of
So
just voting on a bill,
so okay.
Ron Johnson insisted that the Democrats read
Mm-hmm.
the $628 $1.9 trillion COVID-19 stimulus bill aloud
Wow.
in the Senate,
So,
arguing that, quote, the American people deserve to know what's in it.
well, that's fantastic. But apparently, the bill is not the only thing that's long in his
And arduous.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it's
But you know
here.
what? It's funny. He talks about this bill, and we've gone through some of the stuff about the bill and how it's really just going to be a piece of crap, and like
Yeah, in the
90% of the money that's going into the bill has nothing to do with COVID relief.
Yeah, it's not relieving anybody of anything.
But instead, we thought we'd read something to you because we found Dylan found something. I'll say Dylan found something, and it piqued his interest. And
It
you know
does.
what?
It does.
I think the jackals need to know what happened.
Well, and it's so much better than going through it would be nice to kind of have something refreshing. We're going to take a break
Yeah,
from the
a
norm.
colonic, as you would.
See where you're going. Don't get ahead of me. But it's nice to take a break from the normal crap that's going on.
And instead talk about some other crap.
And this would be fantastic to actually do on probably Friday, but
That's true, but
I will
still-
not remember it and won't find it, and
It won't
and
know.
everything.
Yeah, he won't
else.
have it on his phone at that point.
because it all peaked from the question that I found, and it struck it.
And that was a good question.
What happens?
Yeah.
When you drink a 10-ounce bottle of magnesium citrate?
Well, I mean, it's technically,
Technically, well,
it's
it's not technically. It's
It's
a
the literal
saline
thing.
laxative.
yeah, it's a laxative. So, 10 ounces, you say?
10 ounces, like
10
a whole
ounces.
10-ounce bottle.
Whole 10-ounce bottle.
So,
Oh.
would you like to go through the timeline?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure, here we
Let's
go.
do this.
12 p.m. It's time. You shotgun a 10-ounce bottle of it like it's a lukewarm PBR, and you don't want to be a pansy in front of your older brother's friends. It's supposed to be lemon flavored, but it's becoming quite clear that whoever led the R&D team that day has never actually tasted anything lemon in their life.
They've only smelled the lemon Lysol.
It's like the Pine Sol or
The Lysol, Lysol lemon. That's what
Yeah.
they've smelled, and that's pretty much what it tastes like.
Yeah, but at this point, you're already regretting this decision, clearly.
Obviously.
12:06 p.m. You down a cupcake like you've been saving it for the apocalypse because, let's face it, the time is here. It's going to turn to liquid form before it ever clears your throat, but you don't care. It's all right in the world as of this moment.
Yep.
Hold on to it because you're about to enter a very...
Well, I mean, really, cupcake?
Yeah, I mean...
you congratulate yourself by drinking the thing with the cupcake?
Something. I mean, don't you yourself at times with like a cupcake?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. But
Okay.
you're rewarding that with a cupcake?
Yeah, well...
Well,
Because, again, you already know it's not going to be in your body for
it's-
long anyway.
pre-victory.
Exactly. You're getting the reward in advance because you... It's like, I remember the cupcake. It was so good.
It was a good cupcake until it came out.
Let's see. 12:37 p.m. First sign of life. The pressure is growing.
Oh,
You already have 5 pounds of impacted poop in your colon, and you basically just drank the safe for humans version of Drano.
because why not?
You feel a poop coming on finally, and you think it's time. No, you're wrong. You get just a little snake turd as a teaser. Please take note that this is the last semi-solid thing to be leaving your body for the next 24 hours. 12:57. That little science experiment that you've been cooking is about to reach its boiling point. Your stomach is angry now.
Uh-huh.
It hates you, and you can feel it.
Yep.
You have exactly 0.3 seconds to make it to the nearest toilet, but you can't run. Never run.
So this is already a lot more interesting than
What
with
the
COVID.
600
Yeah.
bill. Yeah, it is. That's why we went this route. Continuing on, you pray to God there's enough elasticity in your butthole to keep the gates closed 5 more steps as you start to preemptively undo your pants to save valuable time. Almost there. You 3, 2, 1.
The floodgates have opened.
At 12:58 p.m. Sweet Mary, is this real life?
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Your cheeks barely hit the seat, and all hell breaks loose. The poop water mixture you've created comes out with such a force that it actually sprays to the back of the toilet at a 45-degree angle, thus deflecting
Onto
it
your back.
into into every direction, but well, down.
Caught in a landslide.
That's
No escape from reality.
Is that blood? No, it's just false alarm. That was just the remnants of a cherry pie that you ate at Thanksgiving when you were 5. The smell is horrid. The sound, frightening. You try to clench what is left of your butthole to soften the blow, but it's not working. The whole house just heard your liquid poop fart as it gurgled out of your butt. From between the hours of 1:06 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Everything is a blur. You've pooped out everything you've ever eaten since the day you were born. Everything your ancestors have eaten since the early 1800s. And your anus now feels like you have a flaming hot Cheeto. And it tears the tears of 1,000 jalapeno seeds are stuck in it.
Ow.
You're now curled up in the bathtub, ugly crying because you have to remain within arm's reach of the toilet at all times.
Mama. Ooh.
You have the poop sweats,
I've had that before. Have you had that before?
and you've met Jesus.
well, yes, you have. That's because you died halfway through.
So, and you brought back the Jesus, like, it's not time, my son. Come back. It's not
You
time.
can go back. It's fine.
8:37 p.m. Your family will never be able to unsee the things they have seen in the last 8 hours. You're broken. Your anus is broken. Your spirit is broken. Life as you know it will never be the same. But tomorrow is a new day. You're going to wake up and throw on the only remaining pair of underwear you have that doesn't have a poop stain on it. And you're going to run to Target
To get new underwear.
with the last shred of dignity you have left to buy yourself a new toilet brush. Why? because you've earned it. So there you go.
That's what you need in your life.
I don't know if anybody would rather have heard that
Or heard us talk about
or reading the
Ron
658 page bill,
which we didn't do, but apparently
I think
they did actually vote on it,
Mhm.
and he won, and it had to be read,
Nice.
and he felt very sad for the clerks.
Oh, I can imagine. I would be too.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, you actually went with this. Okay, well, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Again, it's kind of a toss up, a step by step, basic flow chart of the consequences of a 10-ounce laxative.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Flowchart.
Mm-hmm. Or reading a 658-page bill full of pork by people who are colleagues who are supposedly supposed to be helping you
You Americans.
to help Americans. you know?
Right.
I still think I would have gone with the laxative story.
Southern Ohio Jackal. Is this what happens at every truck stop bathroom ever?
Almost.
Pretty much.
Almost.
Yeah, I'd have to say yes.
Big
Pharma Steve?
Pharma Steve. I knew he was going to chime in at some point.
Oh yeah.
What happens when you drink 10 ounces of magnesium citrate? Oh, I know. And people think pharmacology is boring. Just be glad this guy got a 10 ounce of the mag citrate. It could have been worse.
Oh, the
With a
polyethylene glycol. 2 liter.
Polyethylene glycol 2.
That's what my dad has
2
to
liter.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once a year, my dad has to have that. The 2 liter.
That's the kind of stuff that
The jug of fun.
Yeah, it literally
You sit on the toilet for 2 days
it
with that next to you.
This not only cleans out your inside, it cleans out your DNA.
Really does.
Like it literally your
Scrubs
genetic
your genetic code.
is completely polished after this is done.
RNA can't even get any grooves. It's just
No. There's
nothing there.
left.
Uh-uh.
Like you're finding, and the best part is if you actually could, put a strainer in there, you might find change that you swallowed as a child.
Probably.
And it's probably made change. The
At
interest
that
has
time,
grown. Yeah.
interest has grown. You've got a couple cents.
Swallowed a penny and you poop out $1.50.
That must have been in there for 15 years.
Wow.
Holy crap, compound interest works.
It does work. I should have listened to Dave Ramsey earlier.
Dang it.
B from the SAV. Your show prep frightens me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Our show prep is actually prepped. He just found that story randomly, and you know what? We said go with it. We went ahead and just let that out.
Yeah, Stell Jackomaster over on Twitter. Nothing piques at Dylan Lyle's interest. Like, what happens if you ...
It's very true.
The Malort is going to be easy.
Whenever we get
If it ever shows up.
If it ever shows up. So anyway, moving right along, because we all know that bill's eventually going to get passed, and it's going to be a bunch of pork, and nobody cares.
Just like,
like I said, it was more interesting to listen to what happens.
just like the laxative story, we're going to move right along.
Moving right along. The U.S. Supreme Court sided with the Department of Justice on Thursday, ruling that illegal immigrants who are subject to deportation bear the burden of proof in challenging their removal.
Oh, good. That's how it kind of should be.
Right.
I mean,
in a 5-3 opinion, the court conservative justices determined that Clemente Pereira,
sure,
sounds
good to me,
an immigrant from Mexico, who has resided in the United States illegally for the past 25 years, bears the full burden of proving that he is eligible to have his deportation canceled.
Wow. 25 years.
25 years can give you such a crick in the neck.
I know, right?
It seems like a simple concept, obviously, but it's not, apparently. As it relates to the immigration benefits, non-citizens are entitled to the same array of due process rights that citizens are, but evidently it wasn't that simple for the 3 liberal justices in the court. And for a time, it looked like it wouldn't be the case for two of the presidential Trump's appointees either.
Wow.
Yeah. Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh.
I'm sorry. You want to try that one more time?
No. Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh.
Kavanana.
Kavanaugh. Yeah.
Okay.
Showed signs of wavering. No. You don't say.
He said.
In regards to the case, but in the end, both sided with the court majority. Gorsuch authorized the majority opinion. He authored the opinion, and he wrote this: the Immigration and Nationality Act expressly requires individuals seeking relief from legal removal orders to prove all aspects of their eligibility. That includes proving that they do not stand convicted or of a disqualifying criminal offense. And
No, I would.
if you're illegal and you're here, you already stand convicted.
That's what I kind of was getting ready to say. Is I mean, they're not going to. They're going to be like, well, no, we mean something like, did he commit a robbery or murder or something, a felony, a real felony, not these little petty felonies. As far as immigration goes.
Well, this is the problem with American law. American law
It's never upheld.
No. American law is never actual law.
No,
It's opinion.
Yep.
It's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
American law is all about the opinion. We have these thousands of law books. They're not law books. They're books on opinions from the court.
Yeah. It's precedent.
The reason why, the reason why
this
we
is what
even pay
happened in
lawyers.
this case. This is what happened in this case back in 1877. And
Right. Pay lawyers for stupid crap is because they're the ones that are supposed to be able to maneuver their way out through all of this, all the mess.
Wow.
And pull out little tidbits of different things to work it in your favor. That's why you pay a lawyer. If law was cut and dry,
yeah,
like it should be. If law in America was cut and dry, we wrote a law, follow the law, here are the consequences. If it was cut and dry,
God, I wish it was like that.
we wouldn't need lawyers.
Yeah,
We wouldn't need lawyers.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was that simple?
For 90% of the we would still need them for some things, but we wouldn't need lawyers for most things.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if it was just that simple? If it was kept that easy, if it was that cut and dry, but then no one would have anything to complain about, so. What?
Beef in the SUV. Great. No, it's stuck in my head. Kavanaugh. Na.
Sanatana.
Yeah, Kavanaugh. Na.
You're welcome.
Yep, that's how we do it here. Even if it's not an actual earworm, it still gets stuck.
Yeah, an earworm is an earworm. It doesn't have to be a song.
That's right. Well, that is definitely there.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're here for, really.
Yeah.
It's to get the worst things stuck in your head.
Oh.
What?
Apparently, the Malort is waiting a personal pickup and delivery.
Yeah, no, I saw that too.
Oh, that's nice.
Sure.
That's going to have to happen soon, I hope.
Well, it's whenever the smuggler can get to it and transport.
Right, whenever the transporter can
Bootlegger
actually get
it
there.
down here.
Yeah, back and forth. The INA allows for immigrants with past criminal convictions to seek the cancellation of their deportation order as long as their offenses didn't amount to a serious crime involving moral turpitude. Turpitude. I need to look up that word now.
But hold on. But
you go ahead.
But who's moral? Like that's the thing. The fact that it's even in question, you know what I mean? You're here illegally. You broke the law. You know, if you're not going to be able to uphold that side of things, what kind of a morality are you basing this on exactly? Like,
okay,
where is the line? If being here illegally is not a big deal, clearly.
Yep. So, word of the day: turpitude. Depravity.
Okay.
It means depravity.
Yeah, which basically is trying to imply that you did
morally corrupt.
Yeah, it has to be like something really bad.
Morally wicked.
Which is dumb because, again, the law is the law.
The law is the law is the law of the law.
Yeah, if it's wrong, it's wrong. There's
law.
We've established that there's, varying ranges of punishments.
Yes.
Per, action or however you want to call it.
Laws, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But just because, we've accepted that oh well, I snuck across the border. I've been here for 25 years. I've never stolen anything. I've never robbed anybody. I've never done any of this stuff wrong. I've just been here illegally, benefiting all kinds of things under the table, not paying taxes and all that stuff. But that's not the same as murder. That's
Right.
not the same as stealing as grand theft.
Right.
It's-
But all
but-
of those things are
Okay, minus the murder
Bad.
part, but you've done everything else. Like if you went out and stole a car, that's grand theft auto. You know what I mean? It's still wrong.
yes.
You still stole.
Right.
So if you sneak across the border and you have not been paying taxes and you have been getting all kinds of handouts and social programs and all this other stuff, literally free money, that's stealing. It's still wrong. Like
It is indeed.
but whose idea of morality? Whose definition of moral turpitude? Because I promise you this, depending on what it is and who's doing what in that moment, that scale varies a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to.
No, it's
That's
not.
the whole point of having a law, is because we're going to want to flake. We're going to want, as people, we're not going to want to take responsibility for things. We're not going to want to be, held accountable.
Exactly.
So I don't know. This blows my mind when they,
It really is.
so.
It's funny. B from the SUV wanted to actually get us an actual song with it, which was Havana, Unana. In Havana, that's where he was going with the Kavana.
Half my heart is
Kavana, Unana.
with Kavana Unana.
Kavana, Unana.
Yeah, but it's not Kavana.
Well, it can be.
Kavana Unana.
Yeah.
We'll work
whatever.
on it.
We'll work
on
on
the
it. It's fine. Peekaboo, the Snarking Jackal over there. Are you sure? I thought turpitude was a kind of paint thinner.
I thought turpitude was that stupid little turtle that plays, as the mascot for Maryland.
That's right.
It's
With an attitude.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
turpitude.
thought it was.
It's
I
turpitude. That's
thought it
what
was
is.
turpitude. What is it? The terpenes? No, what are they called?
Terrapin.
Terrapin. Thank you. I always get that mixed up.
The terrapin.
Yeah. Turpitude, the terrapin.
Mm-hmm. Also, Big Pharma Steve. I was thinking more of Kevin.
That fits.
Yes, it does. See, that works.
That one I can make work. That as good as a suggestion as the Havana part, I can't. I'm still trying in my brain to make that line up.
Kavana Unana.
Yeah, but his name is not.
Kavanaugh.
It's Kavanaugh.
Yeah. We literally said that
Not
way.
Unana. I guess it's because it's I don't know. It's the extra syllables.
Yeah,
guess.
I guess so. That's probably what's got you. But
Trying
then
to
again,
cram it together. I forgot about that one.
Really?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
that makes me sad. Just a little bit of sad.
I did. I felt, it's been, how long it's been since I've seen Caddyshack?
Well, it's been a while, obviously.
Been a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Very long
It
time.
has been.
B from the SAV does make a good point. Well, we all know how it's supposed to work. Innocent until proven conservative. I mean,
Good point.
That's exactly how it is.
That's a good point. Yeah, you got it right. Nail head. You boom.
There it is. So, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, how Jekyll is turpitude one of the 180 genders?
Shh. Don't give them any more ideas.
I know. It's kind of scaly. That's all I'm saying.
TechRoot 2024 over on Twitter. Wheel of morality. If you can't say something nice, you must be at the Ice-Capades.
Been there, done that.
I've never been to the Ice-Capades, and I don't know if I ever would.
I don't think I could.
Like even free tickets and being paid to announce. I don't know if I could do that.
But that's what Brian Moitano would do.
Because what would Brian Boitano do?
If he were here today,
He would.
Hell, he would kick an ass or two. Brian Boitano was in the Olympics fighting grizzly bears.
Because that's what Brian Boitano do.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to have to hear that now.
South Park. What
Love
a
it.
time. What a time that was.
I have to pull it up.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. For all their hussy hullabaloo. And that so-and-so Donbury too. Blame Canada.
Oh, I didn't even. God, it all looks weird and different.
Yeah, it does. Blame Canada.
Oops. Not Park.
South Park. Was it Korean now? Park.
Brian Boitano.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm a Verizon.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I mean, you might be, but it's shut up.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Put a period at the end.
Uh-huh.
It'll reset without. It's supposed to reset without these. Well, that just got proven wrong. Oh well.
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
That's what we're supposed to do. Put period in there.
I'm going to be mad if I find out this is like some talking thing and not like the
I don't know.
Well, then we're just gonna have to save Terrence and Philip ourselves. What? Think about it, you guys. What would Brian Boitano do?
Oh, yeah,
Figure
it's
out a way
going.
to rescue Terrence and Philip.
What would Brian Boitano do?
We're gonna have to hold that until after the next break.
This is Defenders Live.
Oh, because what would Brian Boitano do?
If he were here today. He
love it.
definitely wouldn't show up at the border with a bunch of migrants with wearing Joe Biden T-shirts that say, please let us in.
Yeah, because there's nothing like, trying to kiss up to the person that you're trying to get something from.
Right.
I mean, but I guess it's only fair because, the left and all of them pander to those, those immigrants, so or
I don't-
illegals. So why wouldn't they?
I don't remember.
Why they pander back?
I don't remember this happening in the past 12 years. I don't remember this actually happening like this. Like normally they just they have video of the migrant caravans coming through the borders and all the rest of it through every country and everybody coming up from the south and into the thing, and then they talk about how tragic it is in their life and everything
So
else.
sad.
But really?
So sad.
But really?
It
This?
I don't even want to talk about it because it makes me cry.
I know, right?
It just tears up.
I thought so. But anyway, a large group of migrants were photographed. Look at this photograph. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh. Tuesday, at the U.S.-Mexico border near California, wearing T-shirts that urged President Joe Biden to let them into the country.
So I have this weird question. You can afford to have T-shirts made to have you, so you could wear it to beg to get into a country that you're hoping will give you all kinds of free stuff.
How'd you afford the T-shirt?
Well, I was gonna say, but you couldn't use that to money to invest in your own particular country you're in to make your life better.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I've never lived in Mexico, so I don't, or any of those other places that you're running from. So I don't know your particular situation. But my brain just kind of says, if you have the money to invest into making a T-shirt, a special T-shirt, a specific T-shirt, to try and convey a specific message
Right.
for this exact situation. And
Yep.
then therefore use also said money to be able to feed your happy little butt on your excursion to the border to get let into a place that you think is going to let you have all kinds of stuff for free.
Sure.
I'm just saying, you could have probably used that money better, more wisely. In
Maybe.
other things. Again, I'm not you. I'm not those people. But
It's not what you're going to do there, but that money that it cost you to buy that shirt, if you actually bought it and it wasn't just handed to you by some random nobody sitting there about 30 miles south of the border, passing out these shirts to make it look better, might have been George Soros.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Okay. No.
Partial sneeze there.
No, I understand that. It was all of a sudden. I just want to make sure
it was
you weren't coming down with something.
allergy season coming in.
Well, and we've been doing a lot of
yeah.
traveling lately, and so it's I know that it can do wear and tear on the body.
Yeah, it takes me a few days to get back.
I had a migraine after I got home from work today. I'm talking. I've never had a migraine before, and
It hurt.
I'm still not 100%. It's that bad.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Oh, thank you.
Because
Thank you.
I know
Yeah.
how.
You know how things can get.
I know how things can happen. I just
Thank
want to
you.
make sure.
Thank you. Concern. That's great.
Yeah.
But no, so there. If this was your money and you bought this shirt for you and your family, how'd you have money to do that, but you don't have money to live in the area that you're in?
Well,
Because that is like the difference between the money there and American dollars. I mean, it's not as bad as American dollars to, let's say, Korean money, but still, it's still not 1-to-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. And again, I've never lived these people's lives. I don't know
Right.
what they may be facing or dealing with. But my brain, at least from what I've been told from the media and places like that, these are very, very poor countries. The people, when you get your, $10 a week or whatever the hell it is that they get,
Right.
it's gone so fast and it costs so much to be able to live and survive that
They really have nothing else left.
yeah, you don't really go out and buy
They send their kids
brand
off.
new clothes, let alone brand new customized clothes.
Right. Brand new custom clothes that cost, $20 a pop or at least $15 a shirt.
Yeah, well, at least around here. And again, we don't know how much they would go. And like I said, it's very possible that somebody may have already had them made and kind of
Printed and send them down
said,
there.
"Hey guys, this is part of the welcome in package."
Yep.
Everybody gets like a little, like you go to any event of some.
Yeah, and you get like a welcome
award
bag,
show
a
welcome
gift
bag.
bag.
It's got pins and small little stationery,
Right,
business
right.
cards, that
Yep.
kind of thing. A cup.
Yep.
Like there's this. Hey guys,
or maybe it's like when they do like they have the oops shirts, the shirts that are like
the ones that mess up for
the
like
ones that mess up, and like
'cause they
big organizations, they send them to like Africa.
So like when like for the World Series,
Yeah.
when the World Series is coming up and they know who's going to be in it, they start printing
Shirts for both
millions
sides.
of shirts, based off of one of those two winning on both sides, and then whoever the loser is, they
send it
them
off to Africa
or
and
somewhere that
Asia.
nobody's ever going to see.
Right, because nobody cares. But you have all these people in other countries that have all these world championship or whatever.
I've always thought about
World Series shirts
Yeah.
or championship shirts that are like, that team didn't win then.
That's what I was going to say. It's funny how everybody's all about telling truth and spreading, you're spreading propaganda. How's that not spreading propaganda? I know most of these people that happen to get these shirts don't care, but the fact of the matter is that
A shirt's a shirt, right?
Well, I was going to say, but in America, we're like, no, here's the truth.
That guy didn't win.
The Cardinals won the World Series. Oh, great. Hooray. We all watched it. Hooray.
Yeah.
Whereas there's some poor bastard in Africa going, no, I'm telling you, it was the Padres.
We have the shirts.
We have the shirts. It's the proof right here. That's what I'm saying. It's somebody somewhere is taking that stuff literal and not realizing it.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's just always fascinating me. I know it's stupid, but.
Well, all this news that comes amid ongoing crisis at the southern border as unprecedented numbers of migrants surge into the country, with exceptions that the new administration will be more lax on immigration
Laxative?
enforcement. Yes, that they'll be let it pass through a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's a laxative.
In our immigration system. Yes, just letting it all through, just like a constant flow
With a vengeance.
Yeah, constant flow. With very minimal enforcement.
No.
Yeah. The Department of Homeland Security announced this week that it projects 117,000 unaccompanied migrant children will legally enter the United States this year.
Only
Well,
117,000?
Yeah, during last month alone, 6,000 migrants between the ages of 16 and 17 were caught crossing the border, and that's expected to increase.
But only 117,000.
Oh, yeah, only 117,000
Oh,
immigrant children.
only. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Illegal children.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, it's only 117,000.
Illegal alien children.
Mm-hmm. So that's not bad. It could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
This is not 118,000.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's very true.
Because now that's starting to get out of hand at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. B from the SAV. Let's just not worry about accents and how they come across.
Yeah, I could explain the nuances because I don't know if you've ever been to the southern horn of Africa, but they're rather close to the Indias and the British folk that are there, kind of are back and
Merging with the Indias.
Yeah. So I'm saying I'm just gonna put this
the
little,
Johannesburg.
I'm gonna just throw this little tidbit of information out there, and I may be in for a very rude awakening in stating this or in posing this question.
Maybe you might.
Maybe not.
Okay.
But of the two of us, who's been around the literal world?
I don't know. B from the SAV.
I know I have. I know I have.
I've been.
I'm just saying.
I've been to the UK.
No, I'm talking around the world.
In 80 days?
No, it was much longer than 80 days. And they reminded you of that. It was much longer than 80 days.
Sisterhood of the Wandering Slug over there on the Twitters as well. I'm regretting this choice. See, she is in Las Vegas right now.
I know, I'm jealous.
She's regretting it, though.
Why?
It's sketch as hell.
Well, durr.
It's Las Vegas.
I need to actually, you know what? What I should do is put you up, get you in contact with my brother. He's out there and he'll be able to help take care of you and guide you and stuff like that. I might need. I'll see about making a phone call. Later.
He might contact you after the show.
Keep your ears open. I got to see what I can figure out.
Well, you do send us jellies. We might as well help you out.
Yeah, the least I can do is return the favor.
Right. But even so,
Big Pharma Steve, you're a douche. So that Dylan Miles isn't a dedicated baseball fan. The Padres and Cardinals are in the same league and thus wouldn't play each other in the World Series.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay. Shut up. Okay. I'm just saying, like, I all I know is that I like baseball more than anything. I don't have time to sit and watch sports like I would like to.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of aware they were in the same thing, but that's just kind of what makes it all the more funny that somebody out there somewhere is probably wearing a Padres
or something
Cardinals World Series shirt.
Yeah.
And we all know it's not true, but it is.
But it is.
I'm just saying, so.
No, I definitely agree with you on that one.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. And yes, Stealth Jackal, I have been around, okay?
Round, get around.
I get around, yeah.
Get around,
round. Woo. I get around.
You get around?
All over the town. I don't know.
Anyway, even so, with everything that's going on,
hold on.
What?
Just real fast. Apparently, this Africa thing is being.
It's
kind of a
Southern
big deal.
Ohio Jackal.
Yeah. So, no, we are not talking about the rains down in Africa,
but they do bless them.
They do bless them.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's a big deal down there.
It really is.
It really is.
It really is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good?
Not mean to interrupt that.
No, you're good. I mean,
B from the ACV. Hey, this is why I listen to that DOA show. I become enlightened.
Right.
Don't listen to us to become enlightened because you don't get half the time. If you're not playing at home, following along, you're going to end up realizing
hurting yourself. Really.
Some things may just be full of it.
Kind of, yeah.
Until we start talking about the
laxatives, and then you're not.
At least then you know how to drain it.
Mm-hmm.
Clean that system out.
Human Drano.
Ew.
Moving right along.
I'm
Moving right along. So
I'm having PTSD flashbacks to the last time I had food
sorry.
poisoning.
I am so sorry.
It's okay.
So
So,
local governments are a thing.
yeah, they're kind of a thing.
They're a thing.
Yeah. That's one way to put it. They're a
Yeah.
thing.
They're a thing that you need to pay attention to more so than our federal government.
No,
at the time.
absolutely you should.
Yeah,
You absolutely should.
You really should.
Because you never know.
It's like this story from Fairfax County, Virginia, which actually
That's
I
not
you know,
far from here.
Yeah, it's not far, but you know.
It's not far. I don't know why we would be talking about something like that.
Well, I mean, if you just take a quick gander.
Oh, you want me to read
Yeah,
it? Is
yeah,
that what you hinting
yeah,
at politely
yeah,
without saying, Dylan, read the damn thing?
Yes,
'Cause I'm
exactly. Yes,
tired
that's
of
where I'm
doing
going.
it?
No, it's not that. It's that I feel bad because I've been monopolizing the reading of stories.
It's okay. I've been having fun with it. So I have to hold on. Give me a second to pretend like I know exactly what the hell's going on.
Okay, good. Yes,
and we got to
okay.
make this sound
All
authentic.
right. 3.
You're not asking anything.
Yeah. Well, okay. Get yourself together.
Hey,
3,
shake of coffee here.
2,
Okay.
1. Breathe in one more time. Okay.
Okay.
There.
Yeah. So this is a local politics. Local elections are very important.
They are.
They are crucial. A lot of times, if you're not paying attention at the local level, things get slipped by that you later find out you're not happy with. I mean, we've heard stories about stuff like this. The lady who has a $100,000+ in parking tickets from her own driveway.
Right.
Because
Remember
it was
that.
a
That was
local election, a local law that got passed because she
Local ordinances.
and I'm not saying her specifically, though she
Yeah,
had
sure.
lived there for quite some years. But the fact is that nobody paid attention to anything from the local level to the point that this kind of stuff was able to slip by. Well, in Fairfax County, Virginia, which happens to be a Democratic stronghold outside of Washington, D.C., where nearly 75% of ballots last fall were for President Joe Biden.
Yeah, of course.
They have a new issue now. They're now complaining about a thing.
A thing.
A thing.
A thing.
It'd be flags.
Oh.
Flags.
Is it a big red flag?
Well, a red, white, and blue flag.
Oh, really?
So much so that the county is looking into enacting an ordinance that would regulate the size, height, and number of flags that residences and businesses can fly, and that does include the American flag.
But it's America.
They're going to regulate, or attempt to regulate,
Yeah.
how many you can have and how big it is.
How many you can fly?
Uh-huh. You know, they remember the story. You might not remember the one in Statesville down here in North Carolina.
Oh, the
where
big one, the really big one,
big
huge one.
And they're
that they
like,
just keep on putting back
Screw
up.
you. Who cares what the? Well, yeah, and they've allegedly come to some kind of
Agreement.
understanding or
It's
something.
like, look, it's in the middle of nowhere. Shut up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it isn't, but it isn't. It's I know.
Yeah.
Quote. We're not stopping anyone from flying an American flag if they want to. That is a quote from Leslie Johnson.
Another Johnson.
Another
Dick.
Ironically enough, this one does fit, it sounds like. She is a zoning, or he.
Maybe.
Is it a she? I don't
She
know. Leslie is such
is
an iffy
name.
name.
Yeah.
You
Kind
can
of like
never-
Shirley.
It is. As a zoning administrator for the county's Zoning Ordinance Modernization Committee. And that's what they told the public. Said person told the public, according to WDVM, quote, all we're doing is putting parameters about the size and location and height, end quote.
That's not true. We just said you're also adding in how many?
We don't want to take your guns. We just want to make sure that it is absolutely impossible for you to actually be able to buy one and
Use
hold
it.
one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not-
And
not
even
a
if you
big
can
deal.
get one, we don't want you to be able to have ammo to shoot it.
Right, because why would you ever want to shoot your gun
Because you might shoot your eye out.
with that thing, kid?
But Daniel Gade, the former Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate, wasn't too understanding. He's concerned that the proposed flag requirements, since they call for smaller flag sizes than those that were draped over fallen soldiers' coffins, according to the station, quote, let's make a stink about this because it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And the idea that a bureaucrat would tell us how big of an American flag to fly right here in America is offensive.
That is true.
I would
agree.
I would agree with
Yeah.
that.
If it's your expression, if you want to be that guy that like literally sets up a 15-foot pole and
Yeah.
does the whole deal with a 75-foot flag on the top of it,
Yeah.
go right for it.
Knock
man.
yourself
That is
out.
all you.
However, this is your fault.
Because you guys elected this person.
You elected people who go this route.
Right. Or you live in a residence where everybody around you elected them.
Yes.
That's also your fault.
You're not voting on either. You're not doing your due diligence. You're not paying attention at the local level. You're not participating at the local level.
Which this guy wasn't. He was participating at the federal level.
Yeah. But he's going to complain at the local side of things.
Right, because he failed at the federal level.
Exactly.
So why don't you actually run for local office?
Because that's not good enough
For him.
for him. Exactly. The people look at the federal level of especially politics.
You know,
That's being the upper echelon of royalty. That's what that is.
Screw it. I'm gonna go to the GOP in the next week, and I'm just gonna say, look, what positions do you have open? I'm a fill 'em. I know a guy.
Others have expressed similar sentiments at the public hearing, according to the station. Quote, no other flag or display can in any way be equated to the American Maggie, a county resident. And they said that during the hearing, according to WDVM. Quote, for me, it is the right for every American to fly an American flag on their property. And please ensure that this right is made clear to the pending zoning regulations, end quote.
Okay, so
Again-
well, if you use that stipulation saying, look, American flags excluded from this zoning requirement.
But they're not going to. You have to understand, it's not about the flag. It could be any flag. They don't care about the flag. It's just like the masks. It's just like the 6-foot thing. It's just like all that. It's one more thing that they control in your life.
It's like anybody. It's like
Period.
Anybody who lives in Cary,
Yeah.
North Carolina. They know that you can't, like, no business can have a large sign out front of the building. Everything
Yeah.
has to be ground level.
Yep.
And it can't be too big because they don't want gaudy looking signs.
Exactly.
Everywhere. But it also means that you can't have flags everywhere because it's part of that thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's just how it is. That's how the city has been made. Again, and all that is done from the local level. And no one, especially nowadays, pays attention to anything at local level because we've been conditioned into believing that the presidency, which again, we don't really have a direct hand in. We do, but we don't. It doesn't make as big of an impact on our life as who your local senator is,
Right.
who your mayor is,
Yeah.
who your congressman on
Who
the
the
local
councils
stuff.
are.
Yes, who's running your town?
The city council.
Who's in that? Does anybody know? Can you name one person from your city council? Do you know anything about that person if you can name them? No, nobody
Nobody
none of it-
cares.
No, we've all, and I'm just as guilty.
Yep.
I don't know anybody that does it because it's so tedious. It's so hard, and we've got other things to do. But the problem with it is we have to start being able to find out what's the priority here. Are we going to sit and down the road? Because again, elections are getting ready to roll around here in the next 18 months.
Right.
Are we going to be back to bitching about, oh, well, look at this other thing that's happening to us local. They're trying to take this. They're trying to do that. And blah, 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 blah. Or are we going to at least attempt to do homework? Are we going to at least attempt to talk to our friends and family and neighbors and do everything the right way?
Mm-hmm.
And attempt to try and build our community the way we truly want it and not be focused on things that really don't affect our lives that much. I don't know.
That's exactly what it is. That's all that's going on right now.
No.
I mean, if you're not focusing on the local, the Mel Brooks thing.
No. B from the SCV. Leave it to a female Johnson to legislate height and size.
Oh,
I say wave it around without shame.
that's right. Give it a good tug.
Spin it like a helicopter. Oh,
North Carolina.
I
Come
know.
on and raise up.
Ew.
Gives it a whole new meaning. That's all I'm saying.
It does.
Really does.
It does.
Really, really does. Oh, But that's it. That's our entire thing, right?
That's how it's
We're
always
supposed to be local. We're supposed to be focusing on everything that's close to us, because if you don't focus on the people that are close to you, you have no control over what they do or why. And instead of becoming public servants, they become your rulers. They become your leaders. They become the people that are telling you what to do, not representing your will in a government fashion.
Or not even, let's not even, and even though it is a will thing, let's look at it. How about forget the will part. How about your best interest? Like that's the
your
thing.
personal best interest?
Yeah, your personal best interest. Because, you know, we are human. We know what's best for us in our local area and for our lives and in our homes. Okay?
Right, yeah.
But, you know, maybe in the big spectrum, we are missing something. They don't act based off of what is best for people, based off of what they're seeing. They do it based off of what is best for them.
Right.
What lines their pockets, what gets them reelected, what gets them in holding a place of power and authority.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
You're right.
This is the frustrating part. And the closer we get to the 2022s, the worse it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it at all. Because it's going to be one more thing where people are going to be worried, because that's all they're doing now. It's now we're so locked on the presidency. They did it to try and get rid of Trump, and now the right is going to be doing it to try and either get Trump back into office or get Biden out.
Right.
And nobody is bothering at all to look at what's going on in your home.
What's happening around the corner?
Yeah. What is something that is going on that directly is affecting you and your neighbors? What are you doing about that? It's sad. It's sad. Yes.
Adam W. Johnson over on the Twitters. What does Johnson have to do to get a little love here?
Well,
Quote, starting to feel pretty damned unappreciated AI. John McClane.
Oh, that says
Al. Is that Al? Could be
Yeah.
Al. Could be Al. But I read it as AI because
I'm the one that's been saying it. I know, but I've been reading, so.
it's true. It's true. It's true. A lot of Johnsons getting thrown around.
That's true.
Yeah, we got
That's what makes my wife laugh? All right.
I think she's because she's watching something.
I think so too. She's half distracted. That's just what it is. Oh. Apparently, there's a lot of conversation going on the Twitters about what to do in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Slug. They're warning her Slug to not wake up married.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because apparently her current residency, albeit temporary, also doubles as a Whitechapel. So good for you. Good for you.
That's good. Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't get drunk.
Right.
And if it gets that bad, like I said, I'll reach out to my brother and we'll see if we can
Work things out. Yeah.
help something in some way.
Right.
I don't know. Put you through for some kind of assistance. I don't know.
Get you into public assistance. That's
Are
what
you
we're gonna do.
visiting or are you living permanently? That's
Probably
the
just
question.
passing through on
Well,
that part.
if it's just passing through, you might be okay on your own. If you were living there, I'd be texting him now and be like, hey.
Big Pharma Steve over on the Twitters. With all the Johnsons tonight, this show is being brought to you by Mel Brooks and his documentary, Blazing Saddles.
Roger.
That's right. That's right. I think it works.
I wanted to turn around and do, the sheriff is a Nick. What did he say? The sheriff is near. No, Reggie. The sheriff is a Nick.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, this is still the best one.
Hey, where are the white women at?
It is.
I
It is. No,
It's
you're
the
right.
greatest
It is.
movie.
That's the best one.
That and Robin Hood Men in Tights are.
So good.
I truly can't decide between the two which is better. I can't.
Well, I mean, the night is young.
especially for us because we still got a whole other hour to go.
That's right.
This hour is brought to you by American Pride Roasters Coffee. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
It is historically great coffee.
We'll make you swallow every time you drink it.
Every time it goes in your mouth,
That's right.
guaranteed. They got everything from coffee. They've got chocolates. They've got tea. If you're not a chocolate or a chocolate, if
Coffee.
you're not a chocolate or a coffee person, check
Tea.
out the teas over there as well. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go to Mojo50.com.
Oh, Mojo50.com.
Yes, those are the wonderful people that keep having us on and for some reason love having us around, or at least to fill the spot. Go over there, check out all the awesome host shows and show them some love and tell them thank you that they allow us to be there. Follow us at DOA Show on all the social medias. Drop the live tweet. We'll probably read it live. Go to our website, DOAShow.com. There's still another hour to go. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Whew.
And I'm in love with you.
Bright Boy Tano.
Oh, you want to hear that one?
Sure, why not?
Let's play it.
Let's do it.
Or they're executed. We can't do anything. Our mom's organization is too strong. Well, then we'll round up all the grounded kids in town and start our own organization. An organization to help save Terrence and Philip. Hey, yeah, our own secret club. I guess that could work. We have to try. What would Brian Boy Tano do if he was here right now? He'd make a plan and he'd follow through. That's what Brian Boy Tano do.
When Brian Boy Tano was in the Olympics skating for the gold, he did 2 style cows and a triple Lutz while wearing a blindfold.
When Brian Boy Tano was in the Alps fighting grizzly bears, he used his magical fire breath and saved the maidens there. So what would Brian Boy Tano do if he were here today? I'm sure he'd kick an ass or two. That's what Brian Boy Tano do.
I want this speech chip out of me. It has stunted my vocabulary. And I just want my mom to stop fighting everyone.
For Wendy, I'll be an activist too, cause that's what Brian Boy Tano do. And what would Brian Boy Tano do? He'd call the kids in town
I love
and tell
it.
them to
So
unite
good.
for truth. That's what Brian Boy Tano do.
Someone say my name?
Who are you?
Brian Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy.
What? No, not fucking Brian Dennehy. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, we forgot about that.
Break, it doesn't matter.
Time to the year 3010. He fought the evil robot king and saved the human race again. And when Brian Boy Tano built the pyramids, he beat up Kublai Khan. Cause Brian Boy Tano doesn't take shit from anybody. So let's all keep together and unite to stop our moms. And we'll save Terrence and Philip too. Cause that's what Brian Boy Tano do. And we'll save Terrence and Philip too. Cause that's what Brian Boy Tano do. Cause that's what Brian Boy Tano do.
Wow.
I haven't heard that in so long.
That's
it
wow.
makes me
so-
happy.
It's been so long.
I need to watch that movie again.
Oh,
I need to watch that one. Up there, up where the skies are ocean blue. Poor Satan. I can be free and live without a care. That and I need to watch that one, and I need to watch.
the fact that they made it a musical.
I know
That's what made
that
was
and
the
Team
best.
America. I need to watch those twos again.
Yeah,
back to back.
Yeah, back to back.
Just
That'd
because
be the best.
Peekaboo's over there daring us. Now play Kyle's mom's a bitch from Triple Dog Dare You.
I mean, we could play
I
Chef's
could.
Chocolate Salty Balls.
We could. No, if we're gonna play another like Cartman South Park song, we're gonna do Cartman singing "Sailing Away" by Styx.
Come sail away, come sail away. That
yeah,
one.
yeah, that one. That's the one we would play if we played anything else by them.
Sail away with me, you guys.
You guys. Love it. Such good stuff. They're already gonna demonetize this.
Yeah,
at this point,
yeah.
so who
Obviously,
cares?
we're gonna get completely dropped for that one. But
I
they're
don't
They're
care.
gonna mute that area. This area right here is
No, they won't mute
officially
it. They'll turn it. YouTube will turn. Yeah, Facebook will mute it, and YouTube will be like,
demonetized.
"Hey, you're not getting
You're not gonna get
anything."
any
I'm like, "We're not
money.
getting anything anyway."
Right.
So
Why would we care?
whatever.
Maybe one day.
No, don't hold your breath.
Not from them.
No,
Nope.
no. Oh, I gotta sign that thing.
Oh yeah, you do.
I was thinking about that today when I was driving home from work. I got something I need to be scribbled at.
It's okay. We got time.
Well, I'm going to do it tonight before we leave.
Oh, sure.
Be like, hey, make it happen, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because that's what Brian Boitano do.
That's right.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, ready breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I'll never back down. Thought I was 6 feet under.
B from the SAV over on Twitter has a tweet that I skimmed through earlier and I read. I'm like, oh, this is good. And then I kind of reread it again and it sunk in a little bit harder. Well, over on Twitter, B from the SAV, our school system has conditioned us to rely on the government to do whatever, quote, is in our best interest, end quote.
Yeah.
Apparently, we need them. The Texas power outage exposed a real hole in personal responsibility that we depend on this system too much. 1 Thessalonians 4:11 kind of sums it up. And I had it took me a bit to kind of reflect and go back on that, but I'm like, you know what? He's right. I didn't pay attention to it earlier, and I apologize. But I'm like, wow, we all do it. We all have these things that are, even someone like myself who is, I like to think, who is rather adamantly independent and self-sufficient and blah blah. There's a lot of things that I count on for being there that have just been there and
Always.
yeah, and you know, I'm just as guilty of it, and it's, I don't know, but that kind of sailed a second time, and when it did, it kind of hit a mark, and so I just wanted to I thought everybody should hear that.
That's true. In response to that, Adam W. Johnson over on Twitters, personal responsibility, so easy a caveman can do it. Damn. Right. I think like a Neanderthal.
That's true. That's true.
Uh-huh.
So there you go.
That's how it is.
You Neanderthal, you. Just saying.
So,
Yeah.
but there's been a lot of stuff that happened in Portland over the past year.
I'm surprised Portland still exists at this point.
I think it's a name.
To be
only.
perfectly honest, I with the amount of violence and destruction that has gone on in Portland, I've never been, okay? But I have this feeling in my brain when I hear the word Portland, I actually think of a place that resembles Detroit or Qatar.
Kind of, except for it has more hills than Detroit.
The buildings are crumbling and destroyed.
It's colder than Qatar,
oh, I'm sure it is.
but it has more hills and trees.
And
than,
I'm sure,
than Detroit.
no, and I got that part of it. But I'm talking about just like buildings are destroyed and damaged. There's
Oh yeah,
charred, car parts everywhere. It's trash strewn everywhere.
it could very well be. Yeah,
I've never been. I don't know, but my brain says
That's what it is.
It's been a year plus of
constant
violence,
everything in
and-
Portland.
Yeah, so I'm surprised it even is still standing, let alone.
Huge population of pot smokers, and still all that violence.
They're probably the only ones there. The hardcore pot smokers are the only people still there because they're high most of the time.
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, well, a lot has been happening, and since 2020 and all the rest of it. Well, it's been a lot of violence.
It has.
A lot of violence.
It has.
An October report indicated that there was nearly 1,000 protesters and riot-related arrests in Portland since that May.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, well, a federal judge, progressive Multnomah County District Attorney Mike Schmidt,
He's such a Schmidt.
came out and he was like, he got a lot of notoriety after a lot of his cases were tossed.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah, well,
A
federal county judge has also now tossed 70% of all charges related to any crime in Portland that has to do with any of this.
Did you say a federal judge?
A federal judge.
A federal judge.
The feds.
What is the feds doing sticking their nose in local politics?
Well, they were the ones actually arresting people at the time.
Oh, that's right, because Portland didn't have police.
Yeah, Portland didn't have police, or at least their
Or
police
at least they weren't
doing anything.
They weren't doing anything, yeah. Ah.
Oh, so yeah, that. So the federal court had to take over for that. Things that people were arrested for: interfering with police officers and parole and probation officers, disorderly conduct of the second degree, criminal trespass of the first and second degree, escape in the third degree, harassment.
Hold on. They actually have degrees of escape?
Yeah, it's mainly difficulty.
Was he handcuffed and in the car already? Was he handcuffed out of the car?
Did you just have your hand on him,
Was he just standing there?
and then he ran away?
And then he ran away.
That's third degree.
Is
Escape in the third degree.
wow.
Yeah, you had him
silly.
sitting against a wall, and he just got up and walked away.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
That's right. Harassment and rioting.
No, not rioting.
Rioting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Schmidt insisted that he was saving resources for most of the serious crimes, and so the feds stepped in. The station said that the then Attorney General William Barr reportedly instructed federal prosecutors to aggressively pursue violent or destructive protesters.
Which, you kind of work down the list. It makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah. KGW
Okay.
said, that's KGW TV,
Okay.
said Billy Williams,
Oh.
then the U.S. attorney for Oregon.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Billy. Warned in the September 25th press release that, quote, make no mistake, those who commit violence in the name of protest will be investigated, arrested, prosecuted, and face prison time.
Yeah. Well, but again, when you start comparing that to like the whole, the moral turpitude that, the illegal immigrants have to follow, it's
Right. Yeah.
Again, you're not following the letter of the law.
It's about the spirit of it, not the letter at this point.
And
Because the letter isn't really there. So here's how it happened. Here's how it's going so far. Federal prosecutors have tossed out at least a third of the cases so far stemming from the violent protests. 31 of the 90 cases court records show. KGW said that among the most serious thrown-out cases involved 4 defendants charged with assault of a federal officer, which is a felony. In addition, the station said that over half of the dropped charges were dismissed with prejudice, which means that the case can't be brought back into court, and in an extremely rare provision, according to former federal prosecutors. Sorry, words are hard.
they are.
Williams, Billy,
Billy.
stepped down from his post on February 28th at the request of President Joe Biden.
It's like, you can't do that. You can't turn around and be in that position because you have some connection to Trump.
Yeah. Williams did say, though, that, quote, each case was analyzed for the evidence that we had at the time. Careful decisions were made on whether or not someone should be charged based on the evidence.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It should be charged based on the evidence. Did they do it?
They did charge
Yeah,
them.
obviously
They
was
charged them, but the 31 have been dropped now.
But I'm saying, like, obviously you don't go arresting people for the sake of arresting people.
right.
Contrary to what we're being fed, that most, and I say most, and I mean like the 99.9999999999999 of police officers, they don't just arrest people for literally the hell of it.
That's kind of not what they do.
There is some semblance of probable cause.
There has to be.
Yes, and so when you're talking about assault of a police officer or a federal agent, especially when you're talking of the federal level, like that's kind of rough stuff. It's kind of an obvious thing at that point. So you're going to turn around and go, well, we didn't have the evidence.
Sure.
Even though the guy's got a black eye and, torn clothes and blah, blah, blah. And
Right.
These guys were there on video. No, we don't have
We don't have any evidence. Nothing at all.
substantial.
No, we have a cop with a body camera, and it actually shows the entire thing, but we have no evidence.
That means
whatsoever.
nothing.
It's
There's no
not-
evidence.
None whatsoever. So,
And
well,
it's just because these are black people too, so we have to throw it out with prejudice.
with prejudice.
With prejudice.
I mean,
I don't remember.
Of prejudice?
Which is weird, which is a bit ironic if you ask me.
Well, isn't it ironic?
It is a little bit.
Don't you think?
Don't you know?
A little too ironic.
Just a tad.
Yeah, I really do think.
Stealth Jackal Master over on Twitter. Aggressively pursue. Is that a euphemism?
Yes,
Maybe.
maybe.
Possibly.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's for you to decide.
Yeah, to each his own.
So, in other news,
Yes. In other news, a months-long multi-agency operation has recovered 150 missing and endangered children in Tennessee. The recovery of the rescued children was announced Wednesday during a news conference at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation headquarters in Nashville. So they found 150 kids that were abducted in the slave trade.
yeah,
Operation-
by the slave trade.
Yeah, Operation Volunteer Strong was a joint mission with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Department of Children's Services, and U.S. Marshal Services that first started last fall. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children provided research and analytical support for the operation.
Good.
Outstanding. After months of planning, the teams began pursuing leads of 240 missing children on January 4th in 3 different regions: East, West, and Middle Tennessee. 8 of the missing children from Tennessee were found in other states. Law enforcement recovered 150 juveniles ranging from the age of 3 to 17.
Oh, it's easier to grab a 3-year-old.
I got that, but like you have your youngest is young.
2.
My youngest is young.
Yeah.
5.
Uh-huh.
It's still like that's
I have kids basically ranging inside of that range.
And the fact of the matter is that
I know it hits home quick.
It really does.
Uh-huh.
One of the kids that was rescued during an active kidnapping investigation, which ended up getting the suspect arrested too. So
That's good. Awesome.
5 of the recovered children were identified as possible human trafficking victims, which
No.
sparked investigation by law enforcement.
Never.
U.S. Marshal Denny W. King told TVF that one recovered child had been missing for 460 days.
So a little over a year.
Year and
Year and 100 days?
year and a quarter,
Yeah.
almost. Wow. Can you imagine? And I don't give a damn what age that is. Can you imagine for a solid
After
year?
like 2 months, they tell you just to give up at that point.
Well, but
you know?
not. Yeah, for the parents and the family, like obviously. But I'm talking about. Imagine, put yourself in that kid's shoes.
Yeah, you were taken for a year and so
a
little over a year.
I guarantee
That's a crazy year.
I guarantee you that child had given up hope a long time ago.
Probably so.
And just
Most kids don't have the fortitude to do, or if they're young enough, they don't know any better yet.
Yeah, and that's just heartbreaking, man.
Right. That's even worse.
Almost a year and a quarter to just
Like say if you're like they found kids that were 3 and up. Well, if that kid was 2 when they
Got 'em, yeah.
ganked, that's
God, that breaks my heart, man. But thank God they were found. 2 adults with outstanding warrants were apprehended during the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
There are, however, still 90 missing children. Authorities are actively trying to find them. Quote, "This work is transformational. We cannot stop. There's nothing more worthwhile," end quote. And that is the Tennessee Department of Children's Service Commissioner Jennifer Nichols.
good. It is a very worthwhile thing to do.
Representative Tim Burchett, which is a Republican of Tennessee, commended the agents involved in Operation Volunteer Strong. Quote, "This operation had miraculous results, and I'm glad to see these children are reunited with their families. Sadly, there's a remainder there. Sadly, this is a reminder there are sick and twisted people out there looking to exploit minors. And I know the great folks who made Operation Volunteer Strong a success and will continue their important work and help us to stop this criminal activity."
Can I pause right there?
Sure.
He's a representative in Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he have anything to do with this? Like, did he give money to this?
I don't know.
Did he like sponsor them?
I really
Did
don't
he have
know.
anything to do with them at all?
I don't know. We're gonna have to look into that.
Because
and
if
see.
he didn't, he needs to keep his mouth shut
Yeah,
and
I
keep
agree.
the politics out of it.
Yeah.
Don't use this as something to garner respect.
Yeah. No, I agree. Operation Volunteer Strong is a great example of how working together we can find missing children and get them the help they need to move forward. That is according to John Clark, President and Chief Executive Officer of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. We're thrilled to see so many missing children recovered in Tennessee, and we thank all the agencies involved in their dedication to child protection.
Good.
It's awesome. I'm so glad that happened. Like,
This
it's
is awesome, man. This is great.
It
news.
really is. I mean,
really is.
it's actually, well, it's a double-edged sword if you think about it, because on the one hand, you know, thank God there's at least 150 kids who are back home with their families where they belong.
Right, but there's still millions out there.
And this is not something that is even remotely slowing down.
Oh no.
It's not even
No.
slowing down.
Well, that's why like that's why they say like if you have a missing kid, you pretty much, 2 months. 2 months you pretty much can't guarantee that you can never get that kid back after that point, because they're either going to go overseas or anything else. Like there's a window of maximum like a month, and then maybe you have another month of whatever, and then they kind of throw it into a cold case file.
Yep. And it's all of it. Like I can never, I never put when it comes to these kind of stories and these situations, I never put myself in the parent or the family's shoes, because I honestly don't know what I would do if I was in that spot. Like if I
do.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like I think if I ended up doing it, I would either
You'd end up as the bad guy.
I would end up as the bad guy or dead. And so like it's one of those, it literally is a black spot that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine it, but every time I hear and read these stories, my empathy, my heart immediately goes from the angle of the kid. Like just the
Being that kid out there.
the thought of, this is happening to me. Where is my mom? Where is my dad? Where is, nobody, what is
Someone's
going
gonna come
on?
and get me, right?
Yeah,
Right,
and then
right.
watching and then just imagining that
Seeing
hope,
another kid and another kid.
that
and another
hope
kid.
start dying and just the pain and that's what gets me.
Yeah, and then like this kid gets thrown in with a bunch of other kids because apparently that's what happened, and those other kids are like, "Yeah, I've been here for 4 years."
Yeah, this is
Shit
this
like
is
that, like-
I've been doing this forever, Chief. Welcome to the party. And
yeah.
it's just heartbreaking. But thank God at least they're home. So
for
at least
now, yeah,
this set is home, and hopefully we can get more of them.
Right, and they can slowly crush this.
I tell you one thing, like I would love to be part of an active operation for something like that. I really would. I'm talking front
I mean,
lines.
I know right now there's places where we can fund stuff. I know
I'm
you
not.
wanna
No,
be-
I'm not talking.
I
about
know you want to
funding.
be frontline. Yeah, I
I
get it.
want either.
You'd have to work out again.
Nah,
Yeah,
not if I went undercover. I'd fit in perfectly.
yeah, you're right.
Fat pudgy guy trying to.
That pudgy American. Yeah,
Hey, yeah, it would work.
Yep.
I could do that.
I think
could
you
work
could.
undercover.
I think you could do it.
But no, I would love to be on like the front. The moment the door breaks in, either being first one through to start taking out these people, or
the guy that set it up.
the guy on the back end at once they've got all those guys rounded up to start going to these kids and being like, it's cool.
okay, we're good.
It's done
We're
now.
good. Yeah.
Your
good.
nightmare is over. I'm here to help you. Like I would love to be that guy. I really would. And I know that'd be the hardest thing to do, but I want to so bad. At
You want
least
to be the relief?
Yep. If I could find a way to be able to do that and still be fat, I'll be good.
See, you just want to be Santa Claus.
I do.
You just want to be Santa Claus.
I can be Santa. All I got to do is put a little bit of powder in my beard, whiten it up a little bit. Of course, too much longer and it won't need even that help. It'll be natural.
right, it'll be natural there.
Mm-hmm. B from the SAV. Kidnap my kid. Go ahead. I'd have to be in a straitjacket and locked in solitary. Otherwise, there'd be a scumbag dying a slow and painful death at my hands. Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
I know. I'm right there with
we're,
you.
We're both there.
And not even thinking twice.
And if you're part of the strike force, at least you can do it legally.
Right?
That's kind of the kicker there. You know, you can do it legally. That's the best.
Just walk in and just start punching the dog snot out of people. This is for what you did to these kids.
That's right.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good.
That was
good. In another good one.
Yeah.
And we like this story.
We actually
because
have a bunch of good ones at the end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is an interesting story.
really is.
In an attempt to restart executions in the state of South Carolina after nearly a 10-year pause.
What?
Apparently they're like, yeah, we need to we need to start killing people for doing bad things. State senators from South Carolina approved a measure on Tuesday that would make electrocution the state's default execution method. However, it would also offer kind of another option.
It would
literally be dealer's choice.
Oh,
well, not
what?
dealer's choice. It would be the
The better's choice.
Better's choice.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That would be firing squad. Now I'm going to throw this out there.
Firing squad or
execution.
okay. So
Electrocution would be default.
you get chair.
But if you decide, I really don't like the idea of cooking in
I want it to be quick.
I want it to be quick. You know, do the whole
I'd rather not-
blindfold me, cigarette in my mouth.
I don't want to
going-
smell like burning cinder at the end.
Yeah, just
I don't
do
want
it.
you to have to shave my head.
Just let's do it was firing squad. Why firing squad?
Why not?
Because that, in my humble opinion,
Yeah.
is probably one of the most messiest ways of execution that you could do.
Well, no. Okay. So
Because you're
the idea of a firing squad. One, the person who's getting shot never sees it coming
No, and I got that.
because they're blindfolded.
I completely understand. Well,
Okay.
the same thing happens when you're hung.
Well, that's because nobody wants to see your eyes bulge out of your head from being hung. No, but you have the blindfold, right?
you just still don't
and then
see it coming.
Firing squad, only one person has the bullet. Nobody knows who. Everybody fires at the exact same time, and they all aim at the exact same place.
Oh, no. See, I thought everybody had bullets.
No, it's one bullet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's one or two because sometimes you
got to
say-
make sure.
it's one or two
It's
bullets,
the
but you
double
have a line of people so that nobody knows
who did the
who
killing?
did the killing.
You all think you did.
No, technically everyone's absolved
Yeah. Because
it makes it easier that way.
Yeah.
It's shared. We all did it, and technically no one knows who actually did it.
Yeah.
Everyone else has a blank except for like one or two guys. They have a backup bullet just in case,
Yeah. Just to get.
Just in case.
Oh, no, he's still twitching.
No, the first bullet missed the missed the heart or something, missed
Yeah.
the shot. Well, at least you can puncture both lungs and know he's going to die anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always expected it to be like what I've seen on like
Oh,
yeah, like on Man in the High Castle or
Like,
whatever, where it's 30 guys or 10 guys lined up and they're all got bullets and they all fire at least one.
well, it is like 10 guys, but they all have blanks except for
One or two.
one or two.
See-
and the guns are prepared beforehand, so the guys that are picking up the rifles don't know which one they have.
Yeah,
It's like
it makes sense though.
It's like you have all the rifles in a barrel.
Yeah.
Like just sticking in a barrel or a holster, right? All of them have been prepared with one bullet in each.
Yeah. And you
X
rack
amount
it
of them,
and
yeah.
you line up, rack it.
Yeah, X
Aim.
amount of those bullets are blanks. X amount of those bullets are actually
live and-
loaded.
Okay.
So some
I
people are
didn't know
just
that.
shooting. Some people are just shooting their wad, and other people.
There's still somebody's gonna be standing. It's gonna be like over a grate, and it's still gonna be kind of messy. Like I would just assume, go back to hangings because at least then it's
It's not bloody.
yeah, and it's it's not as quick, but it is. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, though the death penalty is legal in South Carolina, the state has not carried out an execution in almost a decade due to its inability to purchase the lethal injection drugs required.
Okay.
Death by lethal injection is currently the default method of execution in the state. So under current law, if lethal injection drugs are unavailable, inmates can temporarily be spared.
So if you can't get the drug, then you don't. You
yeah.
can just say no. Well, I'm.
They just live their life out on death row.
See, that's bull crap.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, and that's why they're going this route. They're like, you know what? We need to change this.
We need to go ahead and fix this up.
Yeah, because
I wonder, all those guys in Tennessee, they need to send them to the
Maybe.
South Carolina.
I like that idea.
Send them to South Carolina.
But the best part is the new measure approved by the state senators at 32-11 vote
Nice.
allows the Department of Corrections to bypass lethal injections by carrying out executions. That's fantastic.
That's
32-11?
That's good. That's what they should do.
Dr. Nolan, I presume, over on Twitter, I've heard plenty of stories of predators falling down multiple flights of stairs in a single floor police department. It warms the heart.
It really does.
It does.
It really does.
Just kind of brings those conkles to life.
Uh-huh. Opens up all the pathways.
It does.
It really does. You know?
It does.
Makes the heart fonder.
I love it. It's fantastic.
He's so good.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Looking like a man.
Looking like a man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Mr. Superman, no here. Mr. Superman, no here.
Mr. the Superman.
No, he no here.
Oh, you need to take that bag of chocolate that's in the car.
Oh, well.
No, you need to.
It's melting in the car.
No, it's not, but you need to. You still need to take it.
It's too tempting.
No, it's not. I just don't want to waste it.
Chocolate doesn't waste.
Yes, it does.
No, you're talking to a guy who as a kid ate like 3-year-old chocolate and it's fine.
Oh, yeah, it'll still be fine, but it gets that powder on the outside.
So
like
what? It just looks ashy. It tastes the same.
ashy chocolate.
It does.
Ugh, it looks weird. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you obviously know this chocolate's old when.
P from the SB. South Carolina be like, why won't you die?
Exactly.
Austin Powers.
It's so good.
I need to watch those again.
It's a lot of stuff you got to watch again.
And, well, it's because I need to introduce the girlfriend.
This is Defenders Live.
Well, it's good to see that the left is already starting to realize at least some of their stupid mistakes.
Yeah, well,
Some of them.
some of them.
Some of them are starting to point it out and say, hey,
This is not a good idea.
guys, you're not helping our cause
This is not good.
at all.
Uh-uh.
The late night TV host Jimmy Kimmel,
You know, the guy that used to host The Man Show,
the guy who was married to Sarah Silverman.
the guy that literally cried on TV
Yeah.
about something stupid.
Yeah. We're not talking about Glenn Beck. We're talking about Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh,
I know.
that was also on the radio for him, though.
I know, but you could watch it on video. He skewered the left-wing council culture that led to 6 Dr. Seuss books going out of print.
Mm-hmm.
On the birthday of the iconic children's book author.
No less.
Yep. Following accusations that a handful of his imaginary characters were based on racist stereotypes.
No, duh.
I,
The Starbelly Sneed?
there's so much I want to say.
But anyway, that wasn't part of the ones that got dropped, apparently.
No, that's the funny part about it.
Like, that was actually one that you could have pointed out and said, look, this is talking about racial inequality.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, no, it's fine. Kimmel hit back on Tuesday's program with a number of jabs, primarily by rifing that, quote, not only are they pulling some of the books out of print, they also tweaking some of the books that are in print to make them more inclusive.
Stupid.
With that, updated book covers and titles flashed upon the screen as he narrated. For instance, we now have Cat in the Problematic Headdress. How the Grinch appropriated Native American culture.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hop on Pop with his consent. Horton hears a they.
True.
Horton hears a misogynist joke and reports it to HR.
Because always.
There's a walk-it in my ethically sourced sustainable pocket.
Ethically sourced.
Ethically.
Mm-hmm.
No eggs and ham.
Or ham.
Yeah, or ham.
That's a vegan thing.
It is. After which Jim will, quip that it was a vegan thing, I guess. And Yertle, the gender fluid turtle, and other stories. And then he followed up with probably the most
apropos.
Yeah, the most insightful thing I've ever heard somebody from the left, somebody as a celebrity, and somebody who
specifically Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, in that kind of vein, ever say, quote, "This is how Donald Trump gets reelected, by the way. Canceling Dr. Seuss, you cancel Abe Lincoln, melt down Mr. Potato Head's private parts, throw them at the Muppets. This is his path to victory the next time around," end quote. And he's
not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. And it's not going to be even just Trump. There's no guarantee that Trump's going to run again, but I digress. When you start doing stuff stupid, that was how Donald Trump got it. Again, we talked about this yesterday. This is kind of how Trump won the last time. It was people were fed up with this kind of stupidness, and he was the only person, the only voice out there who literally was calling people names and didn't care what anybody else was saying.
He was fighting back the same way that they were fighting.
Yes. Arguably didn't get not as much.
It's
as
not
got done.
Not as well done.
Not as well done, and not as many things got done.
Not
but
as eloquent as he should have been.
No, but it was at least he was fighting fire with fire. He was standing up, and it was a breath of fresh air for people. That's why he got elected, and that's what's going to get the next. I use air quotes, Republican-ish. That's what the next one's going to be. They're going to be looking for.
And if they don't have that, they're not going to get elected.
Yeah.
No offense to any Republican out there. If you aren't going to fight it,
if you're not going to have the balls,
then you might as well just shut up now.
Yeah, if you don't have the balls to stand there and say enough is enough, stop acting like petulant little children.
You can say it's slightly nicer than Trump did, but
yeah,
that doesn't make it, you have to be willing to actually say it and then follow it up with action.
Yeah. Exactly. And if you're not going to be doing that, then you don't stand a chance. I don't care how many of you are there.
But it's true that what Jimmy said is the one thing that we can agree with him on.
Yeah. This is
in the past 5 years.
Yeah. Because it's just gotten worse. Everything has become so politicalized. Everything has become so stupid. There's I've been watching, I love Disney Plus. I just do.
Sure.
There's a lot of things that I didn't know were Disney. I get to get caught up on.
Or that are made Disney.
Yeah, that are made Disney or now owned by Disney.
Right. Right.
So I was watching, as I went to take my nap the other day before we went out of town this last time, I climbed into bed and I turned on my little heated blanket and I put up my laptop and I just set it next to where I could see it and I turned on, remember back in the 90s, They did the Timon and Pumbaa show.
Yeah.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
Loved that show. Just because it was nostalgic.
It was a nothing show and nothing big.
Yeah. And I like going to sleep to those kind of things because I like them enough to be interested in watching them, but I don't care about them enough to be upset if I sleep through 90% of them.
And it's fine. You can start the show like, I remember.
Yeah, exactly. So I started it from at the very beginning for episode 1, season 1.
Right. Yeah.
And before it started, and I wish I was able to get a picture of it, they have this very long, at least I think it was at least 3 paragraph exclaimer. Yes, saying how that there's the following, has portrayals of negative and racist stereotypes. They completely understand that. And then the next paragraph is like, we completely understand it's there, but instead of taking it out or removing the show entirely, we figure it's better to put this here and use it as a way to start conversations and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And
you know what? That's fine.
And it was 3 paragraphs, and I wish I could catch it again. If I could find the thing, somebody else has seen it. I don't know. But it's in front of that. It's in front of like the Muppet Show that they just recently put up there.
Yeah, the Muppet Show has a disclaimer.
There's
now,
all kinds of stuff that's. I'm just like, this is
ridiculous,
asinine.
It's ridiculous.
And then because then it followed up with the very first episode of that Timon and Pumbaa thing. They end up on a deserted island.
Uh-huh.
They run into 3 natives and then the native chief. And they're all these little short pygmy things that look like they're just wearing masks. There's no color. There's no way to do stereotype. There's no nothing. And my brain immediately went to, well, how can you sit there and say that that's stereotypical of what? Of islanders? Of
Maybe.
Of
Native islanders?
Of an indigenous island people who,
randomly
yeah.
are shorter than everybody else and have completely white masks.
Yeah, I've never understood where, like in an instance like that, you're telling a story. This is the world you're building.
How are you going to bring stereotypes?
Because in a cartoon, how are you as a normal person watching this going to try to equate that to the real world?
Everybody does. It's normal.
No, I got that, but really, like to the point that you're going to be upset about it and go, "Well, we have to have a disclaimer."
Sure.
It's a made up island. There's no.
It's a made up island on a cartoon.
I was gonna say that's my point. You can't sit here and take that cartoon and translate it to real life because newsflash, meerkats and warthogs don't talk.
And they also don't hang out together.
No,
it's not.
They don't travel the world. They don't do crazy things. It doesn't happen. That right there should be an indicator that everything from this point on is made up, is fake.
Well, I mean,
is pretend. It's for entertainment value only. It's not meant to be ugly and stereotypical.
Right, yeah. Okay. But are you aching?
For some bacon?
Yep.
Actually, I do want some bacon.
It'd be really good. In other news...
And now for something completely different.
There was an awkward ending to the House Democrats' 2021 issues conference on Wednesday.
Issues conference?
Yeah, they had an issues conference.
Does everybody get to air out their issues?
No. Oh. President Joe Biden attempted to take questions from Democratic lawmakers during the virtual event, but instead, the live feed was immediately and abruptly cut off without the president signing off.
So he does his little spiel and then goes, okay, I'm ready to take questions.
And then click.
And somebody accidentally kicked the power cord out?
Yep. During the live stream, here's what he said. I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance. Referring to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And then looked for guidance from Nancy Pelosi because he was very confused. Whatever you want me to do.
Whatever you want me to do. Again,
the feed then unexpectedly ended without Pelosi even saying another word or Biden answering any of the questions.
I know this is gonna sound like I'm backtracking here.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm just kind of reiterating that this is the power level that the presidency now has.
Whatever you want to do, Nance.
Okay. The fact that he completely, I'll take questions if that's what I'm able to do.
Is that what we're supposed to do?
You're the effing president of the United States.
And you were in the Senate for like 40 years.
You are the leader of the free world.
Uh-huh.
Allegedly.
And you're going to turn around and look to other people to decide what to do? Oh my God, that is infuriating. And we wonder why the borders are being swamped by immigrants. We wonder why China is literally shoving Q-tips up our diplomats' tail because why the hell not? What are you going to do?
Bow down and take it.
And we are.
That's right. As of Thursday morning, the video clip of the curious conclusion of the conference went completely viral with 1.4 million views. The sudden wind-up of the White House feed was when Joe Biden, Biden was ready to take the questions, reignited concerns about the president's lack of press conferences because they haven't seen a single one from him since he took office, basically. Former White House press secretary Kayleigh McEnany,
yeah,
pointed out that Biden has yet to hold a solo press conference, despite the former President Donald Trump and Barack Obama having press conferences by having multiple press conferences by mid-February during their tenure.
I'm just
quote, "Where's Joe? It's been 41 days at this point. President Trump had multiple press appearances, press conferences. President Barack Obama had as well." McEnany told Fox News with Sean Hannity on Tuesday. Quote, Joe Biden needs to step up. We need to hear from him. He needs to engage in the transparency that he has promised us.
Well, he did. His transparency was he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He literally is a face.
Yeah,
He's
is
not
the figure.
one. He's not the one running the country.
He is the figurehead that everybody
That's
said that most presidents are.
He's-
He literally is it.
He's the administrator.
Not even. He's not even. He's just the face of the company.
Well, I mean, but
like literally just the face.
yeah, yeah.
And that's a bad face.
And
to
not,
have.
it is. It is. Well, but he also still hasn't done a State of the Union.
No, and he's not going to.
He's not going to, which is, and I have to look into this a little bit deeper, but it kind of.
Let me ask you a question.
It's not, from what I understand of it, the time is not set as to when exactly it has to happen, but
it has to be within the first quarter, though.
But it has to be within the first quarter.
Yeah.
And that's in the Constitution.
Yeah. So but he can just send one off.
But he hasn't even done that.
I know. So, real question.
Sure.
Because remember, the State of the Union, they're saying we got a report from the Capitol Police acting chief of police, the acting
Yeah, the
chief of
acting
police,
guy.
lady.
Whatever.
The acting chief of police from the Capitol Police talking about real qualitative threats of terrorism if when the State of the Union would happen. When has the acting police chief ever said that sort of thing? That's something that's relegated only to the feds.
Yeah.
Only to the FBI. Oh, like if it's a credible threat, a real threat,
Yeah.
that's not something that she would have the even capacity to say anything on.
I was in thinking about all this with the way that the entire election went, the way that everything has gone down to make everything happen. They were so hell-bent on getting Trump out of office. I think there was a part of them that were like, we just have to get him out. And now that they got him out,
And they got somebody else in?
well, yeah, they got him out. Obviously, their guy got in.
Right.
They got him out.
Right.
That was their goal.
That was the deal.
Now that it's happened, it's like they didn't think, all right, now what's the step after? Because all of this is just such a cluster. None of this is making sense. You've got Biden sitting there and live streaming, looking to she's not House Minority Leader anymore, is she?
House
Is it
Speaker.
her?
It's
Oh,
House
Speaker. I'm sorry. She's Speaker. You're looking to the House Speaker to figure out what you're supposed to do next when you have been in the Senate for 45 years.
Like you've been somewhere in politics since you were 20?
Yeah. You
Like, what are you doing?
You're again the leader of the free world. Again, you're not supposed to have the power and authority that a lot of people have dumped onto you. However, you do have it, and you're not even exercising it. You're putting it up to someone else to guide you. And like I said, that there's just so many the thing you were talking about with the police chief, the acting police chief, all these little things. It's like they were so adamant about getting rid of Trump that now that he's gone, they never
put the pieces
Yeah,
together.
they never went, okay, well, if this happens, what does it look like? What do we do from there? What is our plans? They just put all their effort into that, and now it's like, oh, crap, we're here.
Oh, crap, we actually succeeded in scamming the entire public.
Yes.
Now what do we do?
Yeah. How do we bring the country back? How do we fix all of these things? Because I think that's why a lot of the whole mask mandates have gone down, how all this stuff has just been drug out like it has, because they never stop to think, okay, how do we come back from this? Because normally that's what they do in politics. They blame the guy before them, and then they work their ass off, albeit in their own kind of demented way.
yeah, right.
And that's on both sides, by the way.
Yes,
Their own way to try and fix things to make the people happy, and then turn around and go, see what we did.
Right, but
Okay.
did you actually do anything?
But they're not.
No.
But they're not even doing that now.
No, he's just throwing executive orders out the window.
Yeah, he's signing executive orders and still turning around and going, yeah, well, it looks like you're going to be wearing. And he's just kind of doubling down on this stupid stuff that's going on. Which is
Quadrupling down now.
Yeah, which is making people snap.
Yep.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't think they decided to take that next step. Think that next move.
They haven't. But the biggest problem is that everybody is now calling for him to come step out and actually say something.
I know.
Everybody is looking for him, looking for Joe Biden, specifically Joe Biden, to come out with a presser.
I know.
And not I don't really think it's that big of a deal.
I don't either.
I
The
don't
less
wanna-
the man talks,
yeah.
the better, as far as I'm concerned.
The less I hear from him, the better.
Yeah. I wonder, though, and you can't help but wonder, with his,
wonder.
you know, his alleged health issues.
Allegedly.
Right.
The things going around about him and blah, blah, blah. You kind of, there's moments where I wonder if we're not having like a milder version of Woodrow Wilson.
The Wilson case?
Uh-huh.
Maybe so.
But instead of his
where the
wife
doc, where the doc has taken over?
Instead of his wife and the doc taking over, that it's hey guys, I'm just here and da 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 da, and he literally doesn't have the mental faculties to do what he needs to do, and it's
I'm going to let the
Pelosi
VP decide everything while we're
Yup.
actually in the office,
Yup.
and when we're out of the office, I'm going to talk to whoever the head person is.
yeah, and I'll
there.
pretend like it's all my idea, and it'll be between the VP and the
House Speaker and-
yeah, I wonder if it's not like that.
I think it is. I think that's exactly what
I
it
don't
is.
know, but I would not be surprised.
Well, he doesn't know how to actually run anything.
No. I mean, 45 years of trying to
do nothing. 45 years of
and he's done nothing.
of lying and cheating his way through Senate hearings. And
Just enough
everything else.
to, you know, be normal and maintain.
Right. And he got a spot as VP so that he could do absolutely nothing for another 8 years.
Good for him. Good for him.
And now he's president somehow.
Isn't that fantastic?
Isn't that great?
I love it.
This guy is, wow.
It makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, you know what actually does make me happy?
What makes you happy?
Well, not happy, but it is good.
Not happy?
Not happy, joy.
Oh.
But it is good.
It is?
It is. The
Okay.
Alabama Senate has now passed a bill in
Alabama.
Alabama. Exactly. That would criminalize administering puberty blockers and performing sex change surgery to minors.
Good.
Completely can't do it at all. According to the Hill, the legislation dubbed the Vulnerable Children Compassion and Protection Act
Good.
passed the state's upper chambers with a 23-4 vote on Tuesday.
Fancy. That's the kind of gaps
That's your
you
local
need to
junk.
see.
Yeah, 23-4. That's what it should be.
And then you need to find out who those 4 were and get them the hell out of there.
Right. And it's now being
I don't care which side of the aisle they're on, which
There
we
you
can
go.
kind of guess.
Yeah,
but,
we would know. It makes sense.
but you need to find out who they are and get them going.
Right. It's now going to the House of Representatives for Alabama, where it has a good chance of approval there as well. They've already approved the companion bill that goes with it. If signed into law, the act would mean medical professionals caught providing treatment to youth under the age of 19 with care
Loose, yeah.
very loose asterisks on that one.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
For gender transitions would face a felony conviction of up to 10 years in jail or up to $15,000 in fines.
Should be both.
It should be, quote, children aren't mature enough to make these decisions on surgeries and drugs. That came from Senator Shay Shelnut.
Shall
Shelnut.
not what?
No, Shelnut.
Oh, I thought it was shall not.
Well,
Okay.
technically it's Shay Shilnut, but I didn't want to say it that way. Who sponsored the bill, according to the Associated Press? The whole point of this is to protect the kids.
I mean, it makes sense. You're kids under the age of 18, at least currently, unless they change things, you know, you can't even go and buy a cigarette. You can't have and smoke a legal cigarette.
Right.
Okay.
And if the new thing passes with guns, it'll be 21 before you can even buy a rifle.
But upwards of, you know, or I say upwards, you know, up to the ages of like 3 and or whatever, they can walk in and start, or you know, it won't be that high, but even
5,
you know, 10, you know, yeah,
5 and
between
6.
8 and 11, you're like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to be a girl anymore. I want to be a boy, or I don't want to be a boy anymore. I want to be a girl.
Okay.
And there's nothing no.
You just go ahead and keep on
You
thinking
could-
that way for a
you
while.
could
and
make
we'll
that
worry about
decision
that.
and no.
When you're an adult, you can make that decision. Until then, we're going to deal
Well,
with
that's how it should be, but they don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
We're going to deal with it from here. This is how parenting should work when you have a problem with that, like that with your kid.
Yeah.
Okay. That idea may change. We're going to wait.
Until then, you're in my
Until
house
you're an
and
adult and you're out of my house,
Here you are.
that's it.
Well,
you are you until you're out of my house.
And you would also think that laws that are meant to provide, provide protection for children
Yeah.
up to certain ages.
Right.
Which is usually, again, up to about the age of 18.
Uh-huh.
You think would kind of be the measuring block to all the rest of them.
Well, it also,
You know what I mean?
It
Like
also
if-
goes against the Hippocratic Oath.
Well,
It really does.
No, it does.
It does because you're not actually providing care.
No.
This is not healing anything.
well, but then you could argue that guys who do plastic surgery, rebuild boobs and stuff like that is not providing care either. I mean,
Well, no, they're not. They're not.
unless there's a tragic accident and somebody's
Right.
like,
Plastic surgery for that
But
sort of
if
thing. For
you're just-
trauma is one thing, but
you're just trying to do a breast enlargement, then yeah,
that's your own thing.
But no, like I said, you think that, like, again, going back to the whole, like for smoking or drinking or guns or whatever, if the age limit is this and this is the line, then it should be very clear that anything up to that point, no matter what it is involving a child, should be at the mercy and the discretion of the parents.
Right.
And that's it.
Yes.
And then after that, it's whatever they want to do.
Yes.
And it fascinates me that they don't do that. It really does. Because it's common sense as far as I'm concerned, but maybe that's the problem.
That's probably
That's the problem.
Because it is supposedly common sense. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, Mississippi is they're busy too.
They are.
But you know what? That lower stretch right there is
They've been pushing a lot of
they're
stuff
on
out
fire
lately.
down in there for sure, and not like California.
Aw.
The Mississippi House passed a bill Wednesday to ban transgender athletes from competing in girls and women's sports across the state. That's the whole state.
Good.
The bill is now headed to Republican Governor Tate Reeves' desk. He is expected to sign the bill, according to Fox News.
Good.
The House passed a bill dubbed the Mississippi Fairness Act, 81-28 on Wednesday, according to the outlet.
Still too many on the back end.
It is, but you know what? It's a huge margin.
Still
and I
good
love
margin,
that.
though. That's a good margin, yeah.
6 representatives didn't vote, and 7 representatives voted present.
Stupid.
Like,
Okay,
really? Those 13 need to be fired.
they're gone.
right out the gate.
Yep. I don't care.
Sure.
I don't care what side you're on.
Because your job as a representative
is to vote.
Is to vote, not to be present. This whole voted present thing is crap.
You can't vote present. I'm here.
If you're there, yes or no,
vote. Yes or no.
that's your job.
You're supposed to represent what the people of your community want.
You know, and I just kind of thought about this. Everybody, we push the local stuff really hard. The local elections
really
are where
do.
it's at.
Yeah. State elections
It is
too,
really hard, and I admit it is really hard for us to, as a people, to focus on every single one of these little elections, especially at the local level.
Right.
You know what a great baseline to do is this
That.
right here.
Yep.
If you have people, representatives, city council people, anything like that, who go in there and only vote present, fire them. I don't give a flying fig who they are, what their party affiliation is. I don't care, because they are hired to do a job. Their job is to make the vote yay or nay. Even if they go against you, at least they're doing the job that you've hired them to do.
Yeah, their job is to vote on bills.
Yes. And if you vote present, that's not voting. So I'm just throwing it out there as a suggestion as the upcoming election goes for your local stuff.
If you
It's
see that
so
they-
much easier that way. Here's your list of people coming on. How many times did these people vote
No,
present?
not how many times.
Or did they?
on important issues, on the issues that are necessary for you to push or to understand.
Well, should it even be that?
Well, no, that's like, okay.
Maybe it should
Small
just be.
stuff, yeah.
Well,
Well,
no.
small stuff is
Maybe it should, because you're hired to do a job.
Yeah, and I get that.
And
but
if you
you're
don't
talking
do
about-
it,
well, okay.
at this point, we need to set a precedent. Like, at this
Yeah.
point, it needs to be zero tolerance, short leash. If you voted present and that's it, even one time, in my book,
you're out.
you're done.
I understand
In a
that.
couple years, when they start fearing the people a little bit more, start realizing that people are at least somewhat paying attention, then at least you can start.
you can crush it out.
Yeah, then we can start walking around the nuances and the weeds about
well,
stuff.
we need to make sure that they're
Yeah, how
there.
many times did you vote present?
And it wasn't
on
what
was
bills-
it on?
what
Yeah.
bills were it
then
on?
you could start going that route, because it also takes the people being able to pay attention, because you can't parse that if you're not even sticking to a
right,
main
and
line.
sometimes the name of the bills don't make any sense anyway.
Exactly.
That doesn't make-
Exactly.
Okay,
so you
all
have to
right.
kind of figure out why and everything else. So a good baseline to start off. how many voted present,
Or
period.
did not vote.
And yeah, or didn't vote at all, period. And there better be, if you didn't vote, like you weren't in the building,
You
there
must
better
have been sick with COVID.
a damn good reason why you weren't there.
You were out with
You
COVID.
have one job, and you pretty much, most of them live in that area too. No. Nope.
No.
No excuse.
Nope, not doing it.
No excuse. I'm just saying. Try it out, see what happens. I think if everybody in the nation
Maybe we can
did it that way,
maybe we can find a guy
Start
that
a
can
campaign?
No, maybe we can find a guy that just compiles that sort of information. Like, here you go.
like a numbers guy, maybe.
Maybe a numbers guy that can get this information and has a grasp of that sort of
I
thing.
wonder if we could find somebody like that.
I mean, there was a guy that I thought we knew about, had really good on numbers.
yeah,
I mean, maybe he doesn't want to do that sort of thing because, it's been a
maybe
while,
I don't know. We'll have to see if we can track
we might be able to
somebody
get
down.
Yeah.
This show was brought to you by AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
It is historically great coffee.
Yes, guaranteed to make you swallow every time you put it in your mouth.
That's right.
Every single time. Go Mojo50.com. Check out all the other awesome hosts and shows going on over there.
They're amazing.
Follow us on all the social medias, like, share, subscribe, and all that good jazz. All of them at DOAE Show. Use hashtag #ArmYourselves. Visit our website, DOAEShow.com.
Become a defender with us.
Please do. Helps keep the lights on and all that fun jazz.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow's Friday. We'll be here, 9 p.m. Eastern. Y'all have a great night. We'll talk to you later.
Later.
Bye, y'all.